Let me show you quickly. It's like I said before, this is so fucking easy. I absolutely, it's like, I'm not exaggerating. I know I'm fucking sounding biased and everything, but I just really like working on this car. It's so easy. It took me, I'm not shitting you, it's like, again, like I said, you can jack it up. Yes, I have to ride the car on those little bit of a alloy pad and a bit of ply just to get it right, because this jack is low already but not enough. Right on those, jack it up in the under the skid, because again, like I say, it's strong enough to lift it, no problems. Airline, because you want to blow everything up, you don't want to screw these with all the dust and shit inside there, because you don't want to screw them up. And yeah, remove the corners, let them loose, remove the propeller from the spring, get the top removed from there, drop it down. Obviously you have to remove the anti-roll bar, because that's gonna keep it up regardless if you remove all the bolts. Get it out, remove the top mount, the pillar, which is bearing and everything, and that's it. Spring out, there you go, new spring, and reassemble. And you can literally change the springs on this car with an hour, like from build car, because it takes 10 minutes to remove bumpers, wings and the quarters. Don't have to, but you can. It's for the ease to do it, just remove it, and then remove the spring each corner. I'm not shitting you, it's less than 5 minutes, about 3 minutes if you keep your pace up, but easily 5 minutes corner. Obviously you have to get the jack on all this side, blah blah. So let's say an hour with biscuits and coffee in a way. It's simple. If you do it within a race pace, like on the qualifying, or if you do track days or whatever, you have to change them on the track, on the side, in the pitch. I'm shitting you not, it's like if you got 2 people, 15 minutes. If this had the air jacks, which is easy to put, because it's, again, you only need 3 of them. Like I'm actually thinking about it. 1 in the center there, somewhere, and then 2 each side, each corner here. You can have them here, because there's plenty of space here. Literally, this is the chassis. Make a mount here, going down there. You know, airline with the compressor air bottle up. Get the wheels off. 20 minutes. Not exaggerating. So yeah, it's that simple. All right, let me grab my springs. I change them, and I'll show you the result, which is not much is over there. That's the old one, and that's the new one. That's it. If you wanted to see how the flat floor is shaped, well, the split here, because it's nice view there. This is the shape of the tire when it's full lock on this side, and I do touch. What are you doing there, buddy? Oh, he's dead. The tire tiny bit here, so I need to notch that a little. But at the same time, just after this, it touches my anti-roll bar and here, because obviously again, stupidly wide tires. However, the lock on this is removed just tiny bit. I'm probably missing, I don't know how much, but a couple of degrees maybe, so it's not a big loss. I just have to adjust the lock, so I don't want the tires hitting there and slow them down, because that's essentially, you know, lock. Well, not lock, but it's like applying the brakes, isn't it? That's all. So tiny notch there, and that's it. You see how I need to remove a bit of a gap there. Don't like that. So that could be sealed better. But that's it. You know. And yeah, the side skid's flat. Yeah, because it's a working table. It's a bench when you work on it. You can leave the car from it. You can put your tools on it, your bolts and everything. So you're not gonna lose it. And yeah, you see. My air filter, the ducting goes inside there now from this big filter, and this was my old one that I never bothered to remove. So yeah, I'm gonna do it now. Also these, they need to be, I want to redo them, because they're not good anymore. I mean, they're alright, but you know, it would be nice to have something slightly better. Although I don't know, they're not that bad actually, are they? I don't know. Maybe I removed it from this side. I might as well put it back on. Just saves me for now doing the job that I don't have a time for. Yeah, I'll put it back on. Oh yeah, and I have to remove the anti-roller front and back, at least from one side. On the front is very easy because it's bolt on the bottom. This one is obviously rod end, so you have to put it in the hole and then put the bolt. But anti-rollers are too strong. You're not gonna put that hub down enough if you don't remove at least one side of the anti-roller. So that needs doing. And after that, it's easy, super easy. I think that's it. I need to make this fucking tunnel. But this, I think, I'm convinced I'm gonna remove the ABS, do the lines, braid the lines front and back, bias valve in the middle, inside the cab, and then the power steering down there, where the ABS is, just lower. That gives me all that space here to make the tunnel, and then maybe I can do it kind of like double, a dual, goes side. How much advantage is in that? Theoretically, quite. I think at this point it's like doing small bits. It's like doesn't make a big difference, but it does a little. And you have a little times 10. That's not a little anymore. So, anyways, back on the springs. job done pretty much. That's how quick it gets. Obviously, only done tiny bit of a preload, some pressure on the spring when I put it on, all 4 corners. That's roughly what it was before. And I need to put obviously the wheels back on, and only then I can do the right height. Just see if it's all right, check everything, make sure everything is nice and tight, and that's it. It's literally in 4 corners exactly the same. I just have to remember I have to remove the anti-roll bar. On the back, especially on the left side axle, the CV joint needs to be removed on the center hub, which is only 1 bolt, because then when you pull the hub into it, the CV joints, they don't have enough play inside to allow the hub to go out. And that's all. That's simple. See how long it took me. And again, this is like doing it sort of first time, so not actually, could do it quicker, but do you have to? It's more than good enough. So yeah, that's it. It's my notes for the preloads and all the settings and everything, because again now it changes because different spring, different right height prop, because obviously the preload is going to be changing because the spring is harder, so I want to match the right height anyway. But then I may leave it as it is. If the whole car just move up and down a little, if it's slightly higher, I don't mind it. It's gonna be few mil only. It was very low anyway, so we start from there, because then the height, you do it on the actual adjustment of the height, which is independent. You don't do the height of the car with the spring preload, you do it with the height adjustment, which is individual on the spring preload. But again, I'm not gonna start fucking about with that. Again, all I want is the car, the rake, so it's slightly facing down the front, just for the flat floor actually to work better. And I found the geometry works sort of okay. That's a baseline, and from there we adjust it. But I want to keep the rake of the car as it is. So if it's slightly higher but front and back, or slightly lower, it's going to be slightly higher front and back. That's how the springs. I'm okay with that, because I think it was below 3 inches on the front and just above 3 inches on the back. I think I had about 15 or 17 millimeters of difference in the height, right? That's between the wheels, so quite a lot, is it? I don't know. So it's been more from the splitter to the back, but then the splitter goes, it's not all straight. My splitter is a little bit curved on the bottom. It's not completely flat, because it has that effect of generating some lower pressure just after it on the flat floor. Tiny bit, I don't think makes a big difference, but should be that way slightly, at least I think so. I've done it that way. So the height is difficult to measure, so I measure it either obviously where the wheels are, the front wheels and the back wheels, and the floor here is below 3 inches, floor back there is above 3 inches. Then obviously you got the split diffuser that goes up, so you can't really do the height of that, because that's out of that equation. And the front, again, if the splitter is straight, then yeah, you can do that, but my splitter is a bit curved, so it gets complicated once you get into it. It's very, very fascinating. I would like to have a chat with someone very, very knowledgeable about the area, because it's so much to learn, and I just adore that. I love learning shit, and especially Aero now. I mean, mechanics, geometry, I have the basics, I have the practical basics. Like Alex, for example, he's all theoretical and he knows this stuff, and by the numbers and everything he can tell you and set it up. I'm more like, yeah, this is here, this has to be here, this has to be parallel, it has to be same lane, they have to work the same, the longer the better. Then you got the roll center here, you can adjust it here, then you got your comeback gain. And I do it by seeing things, because that's what I used to do for past many years. So that's what my brain is sort of good at some degree, let's say, good at a degree. But that's what the way I do it, and usually it works, because if I wanted a car to understeer, oversteer, or have it neutral, I was always able to do it. If you want the tires to walk equally, like the whole width of it, yeah, I can do that. But I never crunch the numbers It's just okay, needs to be more here. The tire is not used fully. There's last 15-20 millimeters on the edge of it, not getting hot. All right, you know, less camber, or less anti-roll bar, or more roll, or less roll, and all that stuff. So it fascinates me my way, the old school. Call it that way. It's cool to say old school, but yeah. Right, so Jesus, I'm filthy. Look at this thing. So couldn't ask for better. Obviously, the car needs obviously now be put on a corner weights and do springs preload. But in overall, it lifted exactly 3 millimeters front and back, both the same. So yeah, car is done. Well, done, far from done, but we got the basics. Springs have changed. I'm really happy because if I didn't change those springs, I couldn't go on a track because my brain would allow me, because I knew I don't even have a solid basics. I'm really eager to test the car on the road now, just to get it out for a moment. I don't need the windows for now because it's, well, nice weather. I don't have to close them, but I'm not gonna do it because I want to leave the panels out. I'll show you the way it is now. I want to leave them out till I do the rest of the stuff. If not, I will forget about it. Rose, I don't think I'm going to put these on because I don't need it if I put ramps, so I'm going to make this wicker, but no, I don't even have the time to do it. I don't want to do it. I don't want to remove it. I want to leave it as it is. I want to go forward, not refinishing, so I'll remove it. Don't need it for now. There's actually questions if I do need a tool, because I don't have much space inside there because my floor is closed. Just, you see, like this is as close to the wheel as I can. So the ramp will work kind of half and half. It will throw some air behind the wheel, but half of it will throw some air on the wheel. There's two balances here. I don't actually know what's the benefits and downsides of that. It seems that a lot of people have different opinions. Some people say it's actually beneficial to a degree. It's not, or actually it's not as bad as people say, throw the air at the wheel, because don't even remember, there was a lot of rumors. But again, you speak to people, it's like 10 different people, 10 different opinions, so I don't actually know. But again, for now, I'm not gonna put it on. Fuck it, I'm just gonna leave it. What I want to do at least is to get an extraction from here and this side from the air, and something, you know, in front of this tire, and something here to separate that. Something, but it has to be quick. Has to be very quick, otherwise fuck it, I'm not gonna do it. But what's one thing that's very important, what I'm gonna do is sort first of all this mesh, because it's obviously not acceptable. This was a proper bodge just to get it, you know, in a dyno and use it on the road. So this needs to be sorted very easy, very quickly. This is gonna take me a day to sort it out. But at the same time, when I remove the ABS unit, fuck it, I'm not ever gonna use it. I'm always gonna put it off. You know, even in the wet, people say, yeah, but it's a safety in a wet. But yeah, but this car on the semi-6 in a wet is fucking dangerous, I'll tell you that. So I literally slow down. I'm gonna take it very, very steady. And even on the wet, this bullshit ABS, I could never count on it. Honestly, it was crap. You know, you try to squeeze the brakes, sometimes they work better if you squeeze them. If you slam them because you're in emergency, fucking hell, that ABS never saved me, especially with these tires. On the normal tires, it was better, still unpredictable, not as bad. On these, no. So off she goes. It's actually, I know it sounds bullshit, but it's dangerous to keep this ABS on this car at this point. So remove it, I'll save some weight, not much, but save a majority of the benefits for me at this point is to remove all of that, and that space is going to be available for my power steering pump, which is going to go there. That means all of this space here is going to be empty. I can make that tunnel correctly, and I'm really happy with that, because going around this, it'd be like, this is bullshit, this is really compromises, and I don't want that compromise. One big compromise I'm already running is that this tunnel is not going to be as aerodynamically efficient as I wanted, because I really wanted to have fairly aggressive diffuser on the back and the wing, and want to compensate that, to give it, not compensate, but to have it kind of like balanced, you have to have the same amount of downforce front and back. Well, the same, again, it's not really that simple. It depends, because if you struggle with the back, with the grip on the back, you put more downforce on the back. You can play with that balance, but you have to start with somewhere. So trying to roughly have the same balance front and back. And I know what I've done on my Silver, on my S14. It was, oh, that was beautiful. I know it was just a prototype and ugly, but functionality was amazing. And it was like a ramp, like a reverse ramp. So it was having, because I had more space in the front, and it was getting air in, and the bottom of it was open, so the airflow was going through without interruption, because the intercooler was actually on the upper part of that ramp. So I didn't have to expand the area that goes in. I didn't have to slow the flow down. I kept the same speed of the flow. It just partially the flow which was on the upper side, which is lower pressure anyway. If you imagine ramp going up this way, my intercooler, so the ramp is from here to here, and it goes this way, you know, ramp like this, and the intercooler face was on the top of it, like 3/4, half of it, and that obviously that part of the air on there is lower pressure. I didn't have to slow it down, but bottom ramp, obviously when you have higher pressure, it was using it as a pushing the car down, like the wing, the top of the wing. And then obviously was exiting nice and smoothly on the front there, because my S14 obviously my engine actually started kind of here. Imagine this is S14 Silvia, finishing there. Obviously my 4-cylinder was where my radio used to be, and that exit obviously then was skimming the engine, and the exit was literally in the front of the windscreen here. So it was working like one kind of like ramp with screen. Fuck me, that car was amazing. Honestly, I've done it quickly between, and only just the diffuser in the back. I didn't have the wing on the back at all. Just the diffuser. Oh, I had the wing. Can't remember if I had something stupid. Nothing very efficient, but a very aggressive, big diffuser on the back. Not much of a splitter on the front, but that tonneau, yeah, it really worked. So again, basics, but it can shows you how strong the air density gets and what you can do with it. The car is finished. Oh, is it? Oh, really? Fucking moron. Fucking splinter. Bollocks. Fuck off. There you go. Oh, the fucking moron. Actually, I went slightly softer, because I went from fully hard. Now I'm going one behind it. I need to put the nut. Oh, there it is. I put it here so I don't forget about it, and I already did. This is something I shouldn't do, really, because I've changed the spring race, and I think I can go slightly softer on the back on the anti-roll, but front I don't think so. Actually, front is soft anyway, so because it's doing full hard on the back. I got 4 adjustments, 4 holes. Come on, bleed, you bastard. There's no blood coming out. I'm good. When you got something poking inside your fingers or anywhere, you want some blood coming out, because obviously the blood pushes out all the bullshit, all the impurities, the dirt and bacteria and viruses or whatever it is there. And the softest on the front, but now with the harder springs, I went slightly softer on the back. I think that should work. I think it makes sense, but I shouldn't do it now. I should test the car first and then do it. You shouldn't do 2 adjustments at the same time. But I'm now on the track side. Kai's on the track. Fuck it, I do by my guts. And then if it needs adjustments, I got adjustments. I can go harder or softer, so it's fine. Let me grab the span and put it on before I forget. I think this is it. I think I'm gonna sign up. Next obviously is for the boost pipes, because obviously my turbo system is completely different. I have a turbo that tiny turbo could probably fit inside the compressor, that big turbo. And the big turbo is actually sitting here. Exhaust goes all around, and twin scroll, twin wastegate pipes on the back, blah blah. 4-inch free flowing exhaust. It's I think it's just over 700 brakes capable turbo. I think 750 or something like this. So 700 race fuel should be realistic. 600 definitely. Different gearbox as well. And we have to work with cooling this stuff, because obviously we sealed everything. There's no airflow to the engine, to the sump at least, and the gearbox, so I need to work something out. But I'm thinking I may sort of get that ingress air from there, partially the air filter, partially there, but also want to do what are they called, the ducts, the air ducts, NACA ducts, like a one big one or two maybe here, and go from here. You see the curvature of the chassis, when you go the quarter here straight, and get that air underneath there and cool it down, obviously on this side the gearbox, and on this side the engine sump, because right there. And this thing is for sale. The whole thing is for sale. So the engine has been rebuilt with rods. So it's got the rods. Obviously everything else is standard, just rods in them. So it's strong enough to take 400-500 brakes, whatever. The turbo, this is a hybrid turbo, and this one actually now works brilliantly, because I got that new modified N75 valve, and the boost is super stable. I'm already running 1.4 bar boost, but literally goes 1.4 and it stays there, flat like a table. Beautiful. The boost management on this thing is incredible, because with the hybrid turbos 1.8, that's the biggest problem, is the boost management. It spikes too much. Before we spiked it over 2 bar, super stupid, dangerous, because I don't have enough fuel to run that much air. But now it's super stable, obviously stainless exhaust, everything has, as a pay conversion, Is it used? Yeah, well, you've seen how much I use this car 3 times, so no, it's not much used. There's very little use for it. New timing, obviously new water pump and all that stuff. The gearbox is just a gearbox. I'll never open it, never had the time or need for it. It's just gearbox. Open diff, nothing special. And yeah, that's it. Running standard ECU, 280 brakes, 290 maybe with this turbo, I don't know, never measured. So yeah, why sell it? Well, because I don't need it. I have that older engine. I just need to find a time to take this out and fit that one in. So this what makes me just quiet and peace inside the head. And there's 2 instances where there is a peace in my head, like quiet, because obviously there's a lot of thinking, a lot of imagination going, but it's actually not. It's imagining things moving and directions and changing, and like I say, the camber, the caster, where the wheel is going to move, when we have the load transfer, what is it going to do. But I'm not thinking like I'm explaining, I just see it happening, see it moving, see it working. When I'm hitting the curb, and I can see, it's like I'm sitting here and I imagine the car like if I was just behind the car, like a drone, like a camera, my view, and the car actually on the track, hitting the curb, changing the load left to right, someone else hitting there, so it losing traction, regain the traction as quick as possible, and all of that stuff. And it gets very quiet. It's just changing the settings, changing this arm lengths and everything, and that gets quiet. And that's one way I get quiet in my head. The other way I get quiet in my head is racing. When I'm racing, I'm full in peace, full in just quiet mode, just meditation. And I think there's a couple of videos with me racing on the bike, and there's a camera facing from the handlebars towards the back. You can see my helmet. Have a look on it. Just I've recently looked at it, and look at my eyes. Just there's no emotion, there's nothing there. It's just peace and quiet. As the moment where my brain is not in a race, it's just meditating. I know it sounds bullshit, but that's true. That's actually the 2 moments where I'm at peace. And then obviously when I'm dead, but that's only, that's only happens once, and we're not ready for that yet. So anyways, enough with the bullshit. Signing off. See you soon. I need to make a shot maybe from here for a thumbnail. Yeah.